Exposure to Video 3 image filters. What you're going to learn in this video is how to use the image filters and how to make the image blurred, sharpened, glowing, and so on. So this time I loaded a different image, and it's a very nice mountain image, and it will be a very good example for the filters we're going to use. So let's go to the filters, and you can see we have a lot of them. So let's start from the first one. First one is a blur, so it's a standard filter. It will make the image just more blur, and it doesn't seem to have the customization option. So let's go to the box blur, and this one will allow you to actually change the amount of blur. So we can make it very blurred like this, or just change it to whatever you want. The next one is a Gaussian blur. It's a bit different. You can see the blur is a bit different. It uses a different shape of blurring. The next one is sharpen. It doesn't have any options, so it will basically make the image sharpen. If you want to make it more intense, you just use the sharpen a couple of times. It will just make the effect stronger. Unsharp mask. It's also a sharpen tool, but it has more options. So we can change the radius. You can see the threshold. So for example, with the radius, you can see with the less radius, you can see the edges of the image are smaller, and here you can see they are more visible. Basically, what the sharpen tool does, it just makes the edges of the image sharper. Mostly the colors that are between the contrast. So you can see the mountains, you can see playing with the threshold, you can see how you can modify the sharpening. So either you can create a cool effect like this one to make even a glow out of the sharpen, or you can just use it to make it sharpen the whole image. So unsharp mask allows you to play around with the sharpening, gives you more options and more functionality. The next one is the denoise. Not completely sure what denoise does. It doesn't seem to affect this image. And let's click the noise. So the noise is a nice effect to create a noise into an image. It can be very intense or just very subtle. We can also go with the monochromatic or not. You can see it's a bit different. You can see the patterns are not just not one color, but they use different kind of colors. And here you can see it kind of mixes with the image better than here, where the colors of the noise are a bit different from the image itself. The next effect is the diffuse. So this one creates, you can see, diffusing effect. It uses some kind of pattern. It looks kind of like a glass also, from my perspective. And also some artistic brush, or like a brush, so you can make the image more like painted. So it's a really nice effect. Scan lines, the next one. And this will add, you can see the vertical lines. You can also change to the horizontal. Also very interesting. If you do it very not too heavy, it's an interesting effect. The next one is halftone. Let's see what it does. It doesn't seem to affect this image, so it may work for other images, not for this one. Pixelate. This will basically pixelate an image. So you can just modify the size of the square of the pixel to make it bigger or smaller. So it's up to you. Next one is pointinize. This is very interesting. So you can actually add some kind of pattern to the image. You can also change the pattern, so small circles, dots, and so on. The next one is a water swirl. And this one is kind of like a watery effect, wave effect. You can change the amount and the size of the wave. Very interesting, maybe not always that useful, but interesting to know. Next one is polar coordinates. Oh, this is quite interesting. So you can create a circle. It creates like a circle out of this image. We can also change the shape of it, and it's definitely quite interesting. Next one is kaleidoscope, and this one create a kaleidoscope. You can see really very interesting effect. We can modify the size of the kaleidoscope and make it more horizontal on the left, on the right. We can also go more vertical, top or bottom. So lots of options to choose from. Really nice effect. Next one is a tilt shift. That seems to work similar to the brush one, but here you can see it has some sharpening element, so it's a focus location, and it's often created using photography, where you can focus just specific elements of an image. You can make the focus size bigger. Let's do it at the very bottom so you can see it. So you can make the focus size bigger, so you can see now everything is sharpened. The less the focus size, you can see now the mountains are blurred, and now the grass. Only this part is sharpened. So that's also how you can make some elements focus and some not focused. The next one is Vignette. Oh, okay, so this one actually creates a blur and a glow, inside glow, and that helps to make the visitor more focused to the center of an image, and creates this kind of nice secrecy effect. You can also play around with this glow to a different color. Let's do white, for example. You can see it's quite a nice effect. Pastels is the next one, and it doesn't seem to do much. Okay, when we change the size, you can see it makes the image more blur, but also you can see it removes some details from an image and makes some kind of squares or circles out of an image. Let's continue. The next one is a glamour glow. It doesn't have any options, so you can just select it. You can see it adds the contrast. So let's do it one more time. You can see it adds some nice contrast and also some blurring. So very interesting effect. Next one is mimic HDR. Add some sharpening. You can see also the colors are more intense. The next one is hope. That's a nice one. It uses a couple of different filters. One of this is that makes the images more solid. It also just uses a couple of colors. So it definitely can be used in different ways. Art poster, next one. So that seems to work a bit similar to the last one, but you can see it leaves a bit more details with an image and also the controls, so you can make it. You can change the color of an image and also the amount of the effect. You can also click inverse, and it seems to inverse the colors. Next one is a heat map, and you can see it seems to inverse the colors quite drastically. You can work with the intensity of this effect. The next one is a tree tone, and here you can select from 3 different colors. So you can, for example, select white, blue, and black, and you can see it's going to use. You can see the use is still green, but it uses these 3 colors. Let's go with the red and see how it works. It seems to just mix the colors and the tones of the colors that are in the image itself with these 3 colors you choose from. So it's definitely worth the test to see how it works with an image. The next one is a night vision, and that's basically a night vision effect. You can play with the gain effect, and that's basically the pattern, and also the noise to make it more intense or less. And then we have an emboss effect, so we can make it like an emboss, engrave. You kind of similar, but it goes in a different direction. And then there's a find edges one, and that you can see it found the edges for the mountain. And for this image, it doesn't really do much. And so you can see it's worth to just check out all these filters. I just went through all of them and just see how they work. So later on, if you want to modify some images, some photographies you made, and now you will know what kind of filter you can use, because you know how they work. So it's worth to just go through all of them as I did. Just do it yourself and just play around each filter, and that's how you're going to learn the best these filters. Let's recap this video. In this video you learned how to use the image filters and how to make the image blurred, sharpened, glowing, and so on.